So first off, thoughts about this beer. As is, you can see it's got nice colour to it, not completely, well, not very clear actually. Head's pretty nice, creamy. Aroma, no hops at all, which you wouldn't think with this style anyway, but it's very, very bready. That standard Maris Otter breadiness coming right through. So yeah, Iechyd. Just that very, very, very malty, not much hop at all, and the only thing close to any bitterness is like a quite a dry finish. The ABV on this ended up being 5%. It should have been 4.1, I believe. Now my gravity dropped to 1.006, which pushed it up that little bit more. It should have stayed at about 4.5. So yeah, that obviously kind of out of your control, isn't it? But by itself, very happy with this beer. Very quaffable, refreshing. And definitely something I'd brew again. A very good crowd pleasing beer this would be. Let's try the keg with the real thing, but in a bottle. Unfortunately. Fail. Fail. So straight off, look at that clarity, see me through it. I've had this in pubs a few times and it's very, very creamy and smooth, and the bottles don't really do it justice, and to be perfectly honest with you. Aroma, yeah, got that breadiness. Not as strong as this one, which I think I know the reason why, I'll come on to that. Much more aggressive carbonation on this. How can I describe it? Bigger bubbles, if you know what I mean. It's very gassy. But in terms of the profile, the flavour and the style, and this does have that dry, crisp finish as well as this. They look kind of similar, different carbonation levels. I prefer the smoother, lower carbed. However, when you look into the ingredients that they say they use in their beer, they say it's 100% Golden Promise, which is completely different to Maris Otter and some black malt, but then you end up with more or less the same colour. Who's telling the truth? And the hops are Steering Goldings, Goldings and Fuggles, which are kind of your go-to in the UK for a English bitter. And these are Styrian, Celia hops and Iechyd Goldings. They don't mention anything about the yeast. I think they've got their own house yeast. Don't know, just for shits and giggles. Here's a bottled version of mine, which I didn't put any sugars into this at all. I just left it as it was. Let's give that a go. Chug chug. It's even a school night. So, still carbed up in there. Not very much, obviously. Excuse me using the same glass. In terms of appearance, it's very similar to the one off keg. A lot less carbonation, which is what I wanted as a bit of a test. Smaller bubbles, not going anywhere. Let's give it a taste. That, because the carbonation level is so much lower than the keg and this one, the real thing, it's so much nicer, so much smoother and creamier. This is why this beer should come off cask. It's gotta be. So the overview of the kit for me, a very good clone or recreation of the real thing. But when you bottle your whole grain kit beer, maybe just don't carb them, or carb them very, very little, but leave them a while to condition naturally. So much better. So following my findings on their website, it would be rude not to brew this beer with the malts that Timothy Taylor say they use and the hops that go by the quantities on this. So let's try and do a hybrid of the two. That brew will be in a couple of months in spring, and then we can do a comparison with one of these bottles, which I'll keep behind, version 1, version 2 of the hybrid, the real thing, and maybe, just maybe, I'll pop to one of the country pubs around here, see if they've got it on cask. In terms of upcoming brews, I've got a double IPA fermenting at the moment. That's going to be about 8 or 9%. The hopping ratio on that is just ridiculous. It felt like I was just throwing money away, but hopefully it's going to be worth it. So after that, I'm going to be doing another Pilsner, but the first video after this one, which some of you may have already spotted, we've had a bit of a refurb. I'm going to go in depth in the next video. So if you're not already subscribed, click the link. And to the existing subscribers, thank you very much for subbing up and for your support. I'd be very interested to hear if you have brewed this kit before. How did you find it compared to the real thing? Would you do any changes? Put your comments in the comments box. Brew UK, top kit, very well done. Or Crafty Brews, very well done. Very good representation of this beer. That's the right word, representation. Please don't forget to like, comment and subscribe for all the upcoming videos we got planned this year. Iechyd.